Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
ABC used to do this thing called Person of the Week. So I read about him in a magazine, and it's a super sad story. His mother got pregnant. His father didn't want him to be born. They were just casually dating. So they were never married, but she went ahead and had him. And they had some kind of joint custody, not full custody, but some days he would watch him. And his father was a phlebotomist, right? So that's someone who deals with blood. Unbeknownst to the family, his father knowingly injected him with HIV when he was 6 months old. So, I mean, think about the kind of person who would do that. It's like horrible. This is like in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Not a lot is known about AIDS. First of all, what was unknown at the time, his father thought probably that he would die right away. It takes years for him to develop full-blown AIDS. Meanwhile, he's sick as a little kid. They can't figure out what's wrong with him. Nobody thinks to test a little kid for HIV. Finally, they figure it out. And by the time they figure it out, he has full-blown AIDS. He had all these treatments. He had tremendous hearing loss, so he's deaf now. But he had overcome all of this, and he was working as a counselor for kids at a camp. He was going to college and working as a counselor for kids with terminal illness to try to help them. And he hadn't forgiven his father. His father went to jail. This all got figured out. Took years. In the meantime, when he's a little kid, when this is revealed, families don't want him in their school. I mean, it's a very different time, right? You can get it from a toilet seat, all that kind of thinking. And he has to take all that. And because of the treatments that he got, them not knowing what he had his hearing loss. So he suffers like tremendously. His father ends up going to jail. His father was coming up for parole, which is why we did this story, and really highlighting him as the person of the week. I mean, like, gosh, person of the year. Like, can you imagine overcoming that kind of adversity? And then he's working at a camp for kids with terminal illness and with HIV. I just remember meeting this young person and just being so just humbled by that interview, I mean, I've interviewed presidents and first ladies and all of that, but I think like this young man, like that will stay with me forever.
What's the most important takeaway from that?
That you can overcome anything. I mean, here he is. He's a teenager. He's going to college. He's helping other kids. He's in a relationship. All of these things, like he is living his life. And the other thing that struck me was that, the question, oh, well, has he forgiven his dad? No. And that's okay too. You don't always have to forgive the people who hurt you. I think that there is this thing in our culture. You don't have to harbor deep rage, right? Because that's unhealthy for you. But forgiveness is a gift, and you don't have to give that to everybody, right? So that also is, I think, kind of meaningful.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.